A team launches a glossy campaign, but the market barely reacts beyond a brief spike. Meetings are filled with dashboards and creative concepts, yet the product remains invisible in customer conversations. The usual assumption is that smarter execution fixes everything, so more polish and spending should guarantee results. But outcomes follow a set of marketplace forces, and ignoring them makes even brilliant tactics misfire. When a company blurs what each brand stands for, competitors take the empty space and hold it. Recovering later becomes slow because customers already filed a simple impression and resist revising it. Imagine a giant firm that copies rivals, spreads identity across products, and then wonders why loyalty evaporates. Another group keeps adding variations, hoping variety attracts everyone, but the shelf turns into noise. In the next sections, you will learn how firstness, perception, focus, positioning, and time shape results. This video is inspired by the 22 Immutable Laws of Marketing by Ries and Trout. Subscribe for more. Leadership starts by entering the mind, as the first brand sets the standard for the category. If you take that position, the next step is to define a new category where first place remains open. A later entrant must invest heavily to unseat a remembered leader, but results rarely last. When a name represents the entire category, competing products are automatically compared against that default. Charles Lindbergh's solo Atlantic flight is a famous example, where he is remembered and Bert Hinkler is not. Amelia Earhart gained recognition by shifting the frame, becoming the first woman to do it. New launches should ask first what, not how is it better than competitors. Category design shields you from copycat battles, as attention focuses on what is new and clear. Write one sentence naming the category you want, then remove any words describing features or comparisons. If the category feels crowded, carve a narrower doorway to be first for a specific job. Marketing operates within the mind, where perceptions replace objective facts and guide purchasing decisions. Once a perception is established, altering it becomes costly, as the mind treats the initial impression as truth. Being first in the marketplace only matters if it helps you become first in the prospect's mind. A company that is categorized in one way struggles to shift perceptions, even with significant marketing efforts. Honda sells the same cars worldwide, yet its image varies because buyers associate it with motorcycles in Japan. Xerox and Wang illustrate the challenge of a brand known for one role struggling to claim another. The core task shifts from enhancing features to placing a simple idea in memory before competitors arrive. Positioning means the clear slot a brand holds in the mind, and that slot defines how messages are interpreted. Determine what buyers already assume about your category, then design language that aligns with those assumptions. If your current label blocks expansion, create a new name and story for the new category, rather than stretching the old one. A focused brand aims to own a single, simple word, which evokes a clear mental association without effort. That word must be available in the category, as two companies cannot both own the same word in consumers' minds. When one benefit is clearly established, customers often infer other benefits, creating a positive halo effect. Attempting to steal an owned word usually wastes effort and makes the leader's concept feel even more central. Federal Express built its image on overnight delivery by concentrating on one service and narrowing its offer. Volvo exemplifies exclusivity, as safety became its word, while other automakers repeated the message without owning it. Focus demands sacrifice, as expanding the product line can blur the word and invite confusion. Sacrifice also means resisting constant change, as stable positioning depends on repetition rather than annual reinvention. List every message you want to claim, then choose one word and remove the rest from slogans and packaging. If owning one clear idea feels useful, subscribe and keep building messages that remain simple under pressure. Customers hold a product ladder in mind, a ranked list of brands they recall in a category. Strategy depends on your position. Messages that ignore rank often get rejected as unrealistic. Over time, many categories narrow to two dominant brands, making third place an unstable position. A second place challenger must study the leader's essence and present the opposite, aiming to be different, not better. Avis admitted it was second in car rental services and then promised effort, which improved results quickly. Pepsi positioned itself as a new generation choice against Coca-Cola's older image, leaving little room for smaller brands. Opponents can use attributes where one brand owns an attribute, and rivals choose an opposite that fits. The goal is to gain legitimacy in the buyer's mind, not a spreadsheet win on specifications or feature counts. Write the leader's defining trait in plain words, then write the opposite and test if it sounds believable. If you cannot name a credible opposite, consider creating a new category, rather than fighting for second place. Line extension involves placing a well-known brand name on a new product, hoping that recognition will transfer automatically. This often fails because the brand name already represents a specific concept, not a flexible label. In the short term, there might be a boost, but in the long term, effects can reverse and weaken the core position. A full product line may seem safe internally, but it can spread attention and leave no single idea dominant. A brand that tried a poultry version of its steak sauce found that diners treated the name as the steak sauce itself. When a lemon lime soda expanded into extra versions, it lost market share, showing how additions can dilute meaning. The solution is to sacrifice, which means reducing the product line, choosing a target, and maintaining a consistent strategy. Singularity is crucial because one bold move often outperforms many small initiatives scattered across departments. Audit every extension and ask whether it strengthens the brand's core concept or makes it fuzzy. Choose one decisive cut or one new category bet, then give it time to succeed before considering a change in direction. Marketing success comes from occupying a clear mental position, not from adding features or making claims. The goal is to make one idea easy to recall, so choosing and protecting that idea becomes the central task. Being first in a category, or creating a new one, sets the initial advantage that later entrants struggle to match. Perception and ladders explain why second place must choose an opposite angle, while line extensions blur meaning over time. When focus is maintained, each message reinforces the last, and the brand begins to function as shorthand for a promise. Avoiding fads matters because hype rises quickly and collapses, while trends move quietly and reward patience. Start by writing the single word you want to own and the single category statement that makes it believable. Next, remove one extension, stop one conflicting campaign, and redirect resources into repeating the core idea. The most useful signal of progress is simpler messaging that buyers repeat back without being prompted. If you want more clear marketing frameworks like these, subscribe and apply one law at a time this week.